Take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew a button down long sleeve shirt. So this is my pattern paper. This is the pattern paper just for the front. What I'll do first of all is to take my the allowance for my button, which I'll be using 3 inches. So from the beginning of the paper, my pattern paper, to the end, I'll be marking 3 inches and I'll connect all my dots into a straight line. So this is the allowance for our button. So what I'll do is to fold that button allowance inside, just like you see me doing, and we can go ahead and start taking the rest of our measurements. So this is the pattern paper that I'll be using for the back part of this shirt, and the back pattern paper is 2.5 inches longer than the front pattern paper. I'll explain why later. So on the back pattern paper, I'll go down by 2.5 inches, which is the allowance that we have for the back pattern, and I'll connect my dot into a straight line. What I'll do next is to place my front pattern paper on my back pattern paper, just like you see me doing. Once I place it like this, you see the allowance that I have on the down part for the back pattern is still there. So I'll pin it. Remember that my buttonhole is still folded inside. I'll pin it to hold it down so that it will not move while I'm taking my measurements, and I'll go ahead to take half of my shoulder measurements. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches. 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'm going to indicate that on the neck area, just like you see me doing, and I'll go down by 2 inches. Normally I go down by 1 inches, but this shirt is different, so I'll go down by 2 inches and then I'll slant into the neckline and I'll go ahead and cut that out. I'll also go ahead and cut out the excess pattern paper that I have on the side so that the back and the front pattern paper will be equal. After doing that, I'll remove my pins and I'm going to shift the front pattern paper to meet with the back pattern paper, leaving my allowance on the neck area. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at what I'm doing. So I've adjusted my front pattern paper to meet the back pattern paper on the length, and you can see my 2.5 inches on the upper area. So I'm just going to pin this down and I'll start taking my measurements. So as you can see, the front pattern is touching the 2.5 inches that we have on the back pattern. So I'm going to fold the 2.5 inches to meet the front pattern. This is very easy. Just look at what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that the back pattern paper is touching the front pattern paper. That's just what I did. So I'll fold it like this and I'll make sure that this 2.5 inches is touching the front pattern paper. After doing that, I'll pin it down. I'll just use my pin to hold it down in order for me to start taking my measurements. So I'll go ahead and still take half of my shoulder measurement, just like I did earlier, divided by 2. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I'll do that, and I'll go down also, which is round my round armhole divided by 2, which is 8 inches also. I'll take the 8 inches and then I'll connect the 2 dots into a straight line, just like you see me doing, and then I'll extend the line a little bit like this so that my armhole will be able to sit there. From that point, I'll take the distance from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10 inches. I'll rule a straight line across. So this shirt is going to be straight. I don't want any curve on the waist area, so I'm not going to be using my waist measurements. But if you want to do that, you can take the distance from your shoulder to your bust. What I'm doing right now is taking the distance from my shoulder to my hip, which is 24 inches. I'll also go ahead and rule a straight line across, and I'll start placing my measurements. So for me to get my armhole, I'll measure what I have on my armhole area, which is 8 inches. I'll divide it by 2, which is 4 inches, and I'm going to mark the middle point, which is 4 inches. I'll mark it out like this. And on the bust area, I'll go ahead and take my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll also place that, and then I'll carve out my armhole. After taking my bust measurements, I'm going to add 1.5 inches for stitching allowance, and then I'll curve my armhole from the middle to meet that point. So after doing that, next thing I'll do on my hip line, I'm going to take my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'll also add 1.5 inches for stitching allowance, and then I'll connect from my bust to my hip. So I need you to pay close attention to this area. For my neck width, I'm going to take 2.5 inches, and for the depth, that is the depth for the front, I'll take 3 inches. And what I'll do is to connect these 2 dots together with my ruler. So this is what I have. And I'm going to remove the pin from the back. That's the 2.5 inches that we folded in earlier. I'll remove my pins, and then I'll open it up like this. So I'm going to cut out my back neckline, and look at what I'm doing. I'm going to cut from this point like this. I'll open it up just like you see me doing, and I'll cut out just the folded edge. So the part that was folded, that's just the part that I will cut out. So this is our back neckline, and for the front neckline, I'll remove my pin, and I'll also cut out the 3 inches that we came down with. I'm just going to cut that out. So this is our front neckline. I hope that you understand. If you don't understand, just look at what I am doing. So the reason why we increased our back neckline, you can see that the back neckline is popping and the front neckline is down. I don't know how to explain it, but you will soon understand. So what I'll do on the down part, which is on my hip area, I'll go up by 1 inch. That's because I don't want the down part of my top to be straight. I want a curvy effect there. So I'll slant from that point to meet the middle, just like you see me doing, and I'll cut. What I'll do next is to label my bust points and my hip points, and I'll go ahead and trim out the armhole area and the side of the shirt. And yeah, this is all we have to do for the pattern drafting, and I'm going to use my pattern to cut out on my fabric. Yeah, it's very easy. I hope you find it easy. If you have any questions, just leave it down in the comment section. So you can see that once I mash it up, the back is longer than the front, and you guys will soon understand why I increased this. And this is our buttonhole. So I'm going to use these patterns to cut out on my fabric. So I've gone ahead to cut out on my fabric, and this is what I have. This is the front, and I have two pieces for the front because we are going to be adding buttons to it. And for the back is going to be one piece, and you're going to cut it on fold, don't forget. So this is what I have for the back. What I'll do is to remove my pins, and we'll start working on the front pattern first. So I'll go ahead and take one piece from the front pattern, and this is my interfacing. I went ahead to cut out 1 inch of interfacing, and the length is as long as my shirt. So what I'll do is to place the shiny part of the interfacing on the wrong side of my shirt. So this is the button allowance that we left, and the interfacing is 1 inch wide. So I'll place it on it, and I'll iron it down just like you see me doing. I'll use my hot iron to hold it down. Since that part is shiny, it has a gum on it, so it's going to hold everything down. So you can see that I've ironed 1 inch down. I'm going to fold it over again, and I'll iron it down. So we have ironed 2 inch. I just folded it once. This is the 2nd inch that we are using. So I'm going to iron it down like this, and I'll fold it over for the 2nd time. Iron this down also. So we have exhausted the 3 inches that we left for the buttonhole. So if you don't understand, let me open it up for you to see again. So the first one that we ironed down was 1 inch. I folded it again with another inch, and I folded it for the 2nd time with another inch. So I'll iron everything flat, and I'll use my pin to hold it down. So I'll run a straight stitch on it from the beginning to the end to secure it. After doing that, this is what I have. I went ahead to do the same thing for the 2nd side of the front piece, and this is what I have. So what I'll do next is to bring my back piece, and I'm going to join the back and the front together. So I'll open up my back piece like this, and I'm going to place my front piece on it like this, and I'll use 1/2 inch to join the shoulders and 1/2 inch also to join the sides. So when joining the sides, remember that the joining on the shoulder does not determine the center of the top. So make sure that your armhole area aligns and the length of your shirt aligns. So look at where mine is sitting, is not on my shoulder line, which is fine, and you can see that the back neckline is popping. So this is why we increased the back of the shirt. In order to cut out my sleeves, I'm going to measure my armhole area, whatever I get to help me know the amount of fabric I need to cut out my sleeve. I've already gone ahead to cut out my sleeve off camera. I have a video on how to cut out a sleeve, and if you want me to do an updated one, you can also let me know in the comment section. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and fix my sleeve. The main purpose of this video is to teach you guys how to cut and sew a proper shirt, and I believe I've been able to achieve that. So the next video I'm going to upload will be on how to cut out a perfect collar for your shirt, and also how to cut out a sleeve curve. So please stay tuned for those 2 tutorials, and it will help you create a perfect shirt. And yeah, the last thing I'll do is to hem the base of my shirt. So you can just fold it twice like this and sew all the way around. And if you don't want thread showing on your shirt, you can use your hemming gum to just finish it up just how you like it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the collar tutorial and the sleeve cuff tutorial, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
You do, every time you hold me